Well, Gail, I try to reach you at the office, and I try to reach you at home. Seems like your line is always busy, so I talked to Nick the Greek, and he say, put your voice on tape and mail it to you. And that's what I'm going to do. Now, Gail, I will play you the Puerto Rican national anthem. I'm not now, but you're on TV.
Ah, what's happening? You got company, huh?
Yeah.
Morning.
Hi, I'm Gail Crane.
How you
I'm
doing?
a friend of Fred's,
Oh.
and this is Eric, Eric is a filmmaker from Boston.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And we're working with Fred to make a film,
Really?
Fred's story.
You're going to be on TV.
How about that?
This is my hotel. On my left is Gail. On my left is Rod. I never got his last name. All I know by his first name. And the cameraman right in front of me. When my father passed away, my stepbrother John told me, you're going to a training school. You're going to stay there for 6 months. Well, I said, well, I have to go to training school. I got a job working in the grinder shop. Well, they don't pay good money. You get the proper training, you make big money. You listen to a lot of gossip, and they don't tell them the truth about Mansfield. There's some big bars.
Connecticut, what's ahead? Pattern for the nation.
When the Saints goes marching in, when the Saints goes marching in.
Here in Connecticut, the emphasis is on the individual, the family, the community when helping the retarded. Governor John Dempsey, in a speech at Mansfield earlier this year, explained why.
In one of the most touching scenes recounted in the New Testament, Jesus says, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for of such is the kingdom of God." No distinction is made as to the children's mental capacities. All are recognized as children of God.
You need to take your bed down.
Yep.
And have your breakfast.
This is me again, eating my cornflakes. When I went to Mansfield in 1951, I was very scared. I didn't want to go there in the first place. That wasn't my real home. My real home was Hartford. And I was working in a grinder shop as a dishwasher. But when I was in Mansfield, you can't go nowhere. You can't even go to the rec center. You gotta have a bodyguard to go up there with you. That's the rule in Mansfield. You can't go nowhere without an employee. And Licky was my bodyguard. He was an employee. I call him my bodyguard.
How did you feel about having to have a bodyguard?
Well, I feel like 2 cents, but I like to do it alone, but you can't do it. That's the rule from Dr. Dayton. You can't go nowhere without an employee. If they do that, they get fired. And Licky don't want to lose his job. And when you're inside, they lock all the doors. Make sure you don't go out. And it was hot in there. Very, very hot.
Institutional care in Connecticut has come a long way since Mansfield Training School was opened in 1917. In those days, the idea was to get the retarded out of the community and off by themselves. It was thought this would protect the child and the community. For most of its long history, Mansfield was largely oriented toward medical and custodial care. The institution was largely isolated from the outside, and its doors were locked. In June of last year, the doors were unlocked, in keeping with the spirit that had already broken the isolation.
They put me in a big hall called Rogers Hall. And I taught them people were nice to me. All I get is a bounce on the head with a fist. And they laugh and they say to me, "You ain't got no feeling." I say, "I got feelings, that really hurts." Now, if you want to be friends, I'll meet you halfway. As they say, "We don't want to know you." Mansfield was too rough for me, too rough for me.
Did you have privacy?
No, I didn't. I had to sleep in the dormitory with the rest of the guys. And they made a lot of noise, and I couldn't sleep with a lot of noise. And I didn't like to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to march down to the kitchen, to march back again. They line up there like soldier boys. And they make a speech. The speech was, "We leave you to the breakfast table. And you gotta put you where you gotta sit." And that was true. We had to march around the table 3 or 4 times while Frankie Bozarn was playing the Stars and Stripes on the old record player. When 6 months come, I told Mickey about it. Say, I won't be here no more. Mickey say, "What do we leave for? This is a good place. You got a good home. You got good friends." I say, "Good friends? They're not good friends." They laugh at me. They hit me over the head. And Mickey said, "Well, you let me know, and I'll put him in their place." He happened to be my good bodyguard, I said. Now I am coming out of my hotel, and I am ready to go to work. In front of this building is my hotel. I got a janitor named Rich Frazier.
Buckle up for safety, right, Fred?
Yep. And now I'm in Ralph's car, and we are going to work in DMR. When we get in front of the building, that's the place I work. You gotta go in front of the building. Pretty soon, the election day coming up.
Yep.
But I don't care for the election day. They always give us the baloney. Of course, the sun is in the way, but don't let that bother you. He's still on TV.
Well, I'm going to say to you, Fred, have a good day. Remember what I tell you every day. Don't take a wooden nickel.
Nope.
Okay? You all have a good day, Fred. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay?
This is DMR, 670 Main Street. Downstairs in the basement is my workshop. There I am walking down the stairs. I opened the left door. Over there on the right is the alligator that you go up and down.
More than 3/4 of the retarded are mildly retarded, educables. They're capable of becoming useful tax-paying citizens with special training and education. This is where Connecticut is setting the pace, by meeting their needs not only in 2 institutions, but in the community. That's where 95% of the state's 50,000 retarded live with their families or by themselves. That's where they'll remain.
The policy at Mansfield is as soon as a boy or girl is ready for the community, they go. We have a good example of this Earlier this year, we were playing one of our important football games, and the star quarterback left in placement the day before the game. And the day that we decided to keep him, we would be actually working against the objectives of the school. So when they're ready, they return to the community.
Did you ever feel like escaping? Like just a jailbreak?
No, a lot of guys tried that, but they got caught. They locked them in the room for a year for trying to escape. And I wanted to, so I had to do what I'm told. I had to stay in the building. If I wanted to go outside and get the air, I got to go upstairs in the office and get permission from Frenchy Bouzon. Frenchy Bouzon and say, wait, we'll all go out all at once. And they have bodyguards all around, employees. They make a circle. Make sure nobody won't pass the yard. Over here is my workshop. This is scrap. This is my job. The paper turned into scrap. Of course, I used to use that in World War II. And over here is a little jukebox. I open the jukebox, put it in the tape, and play the German music. And over there on the left is the clock. This is the clock. The time is now 8 o'clock Thursday morning. And over here is my payroll. I'm taking the payroll off, and I go upstairs and bring it to the payroll master. I gotta bring this up to the payroll.
Good.
I am pushing the button for the alligator to come down.
Scare us to death. Thanks, Fred.
You're on TV.
I am?
Yep.
All right. You did a good job. You're the first one every time.
Would you like to say a couple of words?
No, I'm really too shy.
Well, you got that? She says she's too shy. Okay.
But I appreciate this, Fred.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
They have a central dining room where educable youngsters get a chance to learn good work habits and money. Depending on their retardation and handicaps, the Mansfield residents are expected to take care of themselves and their living areas. Most of the residents get used to the routine. They find such activities pace to their abilities. There is a danger here.
We try to provide as full a life for every individual at Mansfield. At the same time, we have to be careful that we don't make them too happy, because they may want to stay here, and then we start to worry.
They put me in the laundry, the dirtiest job I ever had. And I had to put a clothespin over my nose, so I won't have to smell. And I had to clean out the BM that I didn't like to do. You know what I'm talking about? The BM with the diapers. Oh. During the summertime, it was hot as a firecracker. You can hardly breathe. They paid me $10 a month because I was room and board there. $10 a month. I can't spend it no place, so I save it. When I go home for the holidays, then I have money in my pocket.
You tried to tell people, right?
Yeah.
What was it like that they didn't listen?
No, it's my stepbrother that listened, because he listened to a line of baloney. And he told me it was a training school. I said, there is no training school down there. I don't see no training. And every time I go home for the holidays, I take out the same question. How long do I have to stay there? I keep telling myself, I was blue in the face. I was screaming at them. I told them I didn't want to go back. And he said, oh, you gotta go back, Fred. Those are the rules you gotta follow. I said, what rules? Yeah, it's just a rule, right? But I don't like it, I told him. I even pounded my fist on the table and I told him I want to stay home. I want to go back to my old job, back to the grinder shop. I was doing pretty good, too. I had my free meal, but I was a dishwasher, and I liked that kind of job. And now I am drinking my Spanish coffee. Of course, the coffee beans come from Colombo. This is a soda can, my fortune told. I always pick them up. When people buy soda in the laundry, they gave me the soda cans. And I don't take it out until the soda can is full up to the top, and I had to tie a ribbon into it. So I was making $5 on the soda cans. Remember, 100 nickels make $5. I saved a lot of nickels on that to get myself a TV set.
Oh, good morning, Fred.
You're on TV, Mary Buzzy.
Oh, good morning, good morning.
This is Mary Buzzy, because her husband retired from Mansfield.
Yes, he did.
And his name is German Otto.
It is, Otto. Good morning.
Good morning.
When I came back from the laundry, they busted on me. They bust the rabbit ears. And Phil Latitissimo had to take it out of their hide. $1 a piece.
Because of the largeness of these facilities, there's a certain rigidity that takes place. We refer to this as institutionalization. You conform to a certain pattern, a certain way of doing things for a prolonged period of time, and you become institutionalized.
If we open our hands for each other every day, what a wonderful world this would be.
That wasn't the wrong place. And I didn't like it there. But my stepbrother John told me, I'll get you out when the time comes. Well, the time never came, and I was there for 40 years. When 1991 came, they closed down Mansfield. McNamara came around and said to me, we gotta move out. You're going to a group home. I didn't have any choice. They told me I'm going to have good people there. Every time when I watch a good movie, Lady Sawyer come in and change the channel. She wanted to watch Murder, She Wrote, and I wasn't interested in that story. Alice Armstrong. Alice, you're on TV.
Good.
Look.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
This woman is Alice White.
Janine Bandy.
And over there on the left is Nick the Greek's office. Now we'll walk over to Nick the Greek's office. Well, right now, I'm sitting pretty. I got my own job and I got a good boss. And Nick the Greek is the first big boss. Of course, he's not in this morning, but he'll be in 10 p.m. I like my job. I get a regular paycheck. My old man Sullivan's office, and that's the way I understand, he's the paymaster. Of course, it's not big enough to pay for the rent. You can't spend nothing without money because they won't get nothing for free. Old man Sullivan taught me that way. Oh, now I did. He said, you're free now, you're out of Mansfield, you could do what you please. Well, he was right. Nobody can tell you what to do, except the landlord named Rich Fraser, and he wants his rent money, $500 a month. I never paid rent money in my life that way. When I used to live in Durden's house, I didn't pay no rent. All I made was $10 a month. And I had to work for my room and board. And I had a roof over my head. When I came over here, it's $500 a month. I can't believe that he charged $500 a month. Way back in the early 20s, when my uncle owned a house, they only paid $15 a month for room and board. When I told Rich Fraser that, he laughed his head off. He said, you're out in the world, you're in the good times. $500 a month, he said. So I went to old man Sullivan, and he said to me, don't worry, there'll be a check coming in through the mail, you could pay your rent. And that was true, too. The full sister, Rosie and Rosie Wolfpack. Now I am free as a bird, and I don't have to get no permission to walk out of my hotel and come and go where I please. I'm alone. That's what you call freedom.
I open the door.
Rosie?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, go away. You're on TV.
I'm on TV.
Yeah, you're on TV. This is the Puerto Rican restaurant.
It's not a Puerto Rican restaurant.
Oh, you're on video,
Hi.
Freddie.
The usual, Rosie.
Okay. They're following you.
Hey, you're on TV.
How come?
Well,
Are you a
I'll
celebrity?
tell about this place.
You're a celebrity.
Yeah,
I knew
I
it.
told about this
The
place.
usual.
You're on TV. This is the Puerto Rican restaurant. Rosie make
Puerto
the
Rican toast.
coats and everything else. Her name is Rosie Wolfpack. Remember the name.
God, it's called.
Rosie Wolfpack.
There you go, Freddie.
Now, Rosie, would you like to say a couple of words? How did you got in business in the Puerto Rican restaurant?
Oh, yeah, how I got into business with the Puerto Rican restaurant.
Well, would you
Much
like to
better
sit
when you
beside
smile.
me so you can get on TV?
Yeah,
Come
see?
on, sit beside me. Come on. Come on.
Oh, no, it's a one-man show. One-man show. This is your show.
Yeah, but I want you in it too. And over there on my left is Mary Jane Lebec. She was born in Italy. She claimed that she's Italian. But I met her mother and father. They are really Italian.
Are you drawn to things Italian? Do you like Italian things?
Well, I am an Italian, and the only thing I like is Italian food. Manicotti, spaghetti and meatballs, show macaroni. Matter of fact, I got one in the icebox. Primavera, le bellezza e la vita, la fresca, e con tanto notarán.
Are you proud of your singing?
Well, I can sing, but I cannot sing like Luciano Pavarotti. A campagna della città, lei pareva questa giorni.
What is the absolute best thing about your life now?
I got my freedom. I live all by myself, and I do whatever I please.
So freedom's really valuable, huh?
Yeah.
How valuable is freedom?
I don't know myself. All I know, I was a prisoner in Mansfield. And they hear they gonna close down Mansfield. I don't know how true it is, but when the time comes, they did close it down because you can't believe what you hear up there. They give you all kind of cockeyed story.
Were you happy when Mansfield closed?
Yeah, I was very happy. They make my life miserable.
When you look around, you see people who, you know, they went to school, they got out of school, and then they got married, had kids, or whatever, had different jobs. And then there's your life.
Yeah. I wasn't so lucky. Dear Gail, I miss you. I really do. I miss your lovely voice and I can't get you on the phone. One more time, Gail. The Puerto Rican national anthem will sing to you like a polka.
Do you want to become something, do something? Is there something you really hope for?
Yeah. I like to work in Nick the Greek's office. This man is Jose Santiago. This is Margaret O'Brien. Second floor. Oh, this is my pal. His name is Bill O'Brien. See?
I have to go.
All right, bye-bye. And so, Gail, that was the Puerto Rican polka. Does it sound what beautiful?